So I'm recording this para dun sa mga hindi nakaka-attend or kunwari meron kayong i-review dun sa discuss ko na hindi nyo na-gets agad. So you can always come back and look at the recording. The class will be only around an hour to 1 hour and a half. Kasi in my experience, then too much data information coming in might be too much for you to digest. So I'll try to make it na as layman as possible para maintindihan. Ano si Gabriel ngayon? Hindi ko kailangan mag-English din dahil na. Ako siguro naman siya ako kang mga Gabriel.
Lang nyo na po. Nasa Bora.
Ganun? Wow, sana ako. So, kasi medyo technical siya na discussion, so I hope I can make it as layman as possible. Hold on. Saying, pen. So the class is going to be retouching. Normally itong class na to, mga mahaba-haba din ito eh. When I did this before, mga 2 days to siya na kasi. Pero 3 hours lang siya. And the reason umabot din siya ng 2 days kasi may hands-on. So they have to do the actual retouching themselves and then have to check if kaya medyo mahaba siya. But actually, yung content ng 2 days na yun, a total of 6 hours, is actually what I'll be discussing tonight. No? Subukan ko, alam ko, kung siya man eh. So, I start with objective, decision. Meron ako mga dinagay dyan that we will have to go through. Okay? So, mag-open ako ng file. May prepare ako dito kanina. This is a CR2 file. I was shooting with my Canon 5D Mark III. So hindi siya katulad nung camera na ginamit ko ngayon. Luma na to. 2019 position of October 11. Okay. And in this session, I'm going to be discussing using Photoshop. So since this is a raw file, kailangan siya ma-open. Hindi siya directly pwede ma-open sa Photoshop. Kailangan dumaan na siya sa Adobe. Open sa Photoshop. Pag in-open ko sa Photoshop, lalabas siya dito kay camera roll. Camera roll. Kasi, nakikita niyo dyan from far. So, the reason camera raw siya mong open pag raw file, which I would really encourage for you to use raw file in the future mo shoot. So, hindi pa kayo nag-shoot. Kasi medyo nahihirapan kayo sa raw file dahil hindi na-open ito sa or maraming requirement. But I tell you, a raw file is very much recommended. So, bakit raw file siya na-open? Bakit hindi siya sa Photoshop na-open? Kasi si Photoshop was never designed to open raw file. Ang raw file was invented sometime 2000, 2001. No? Kasi yung mga digital camera before, JPEG ang output niya. So, pagdating yung 2001 or 2000, nung nagkaroon na ng mga professional na ng mga camera, nagpalabas sila ng raw file. Meaning this is a file that is unprocessed, complete with information. Lahat ng dimensionality ng sensor na nakapture ng is saved. So therefore, it's complete. Now, Photoshop was invented created 1987. During the time, wala pang raw file. Yung taka na-open na yung Photoshop dati, KIFF. Hindi siya na-open ng diskette pa. Tapos later, nung nagkaroon ng JPEG, nagkaroon ng PNG, whatever, mga other file formats, naka-open na siya. Pero, nung lowest ng raw ng mga files coming from professional cameras, Hindi siya designed to open that. So instead of changing the architecture of Photoshop, ang ginawa ni Photoshop, para hindi niya baguhin yung internal system niya, gumawa na lang siya ng converter. So somebody's gonna open the raw file, convert it into something that Photoshop can understand, and then saka type it na Photoshop. So since this is a raw file, therefore hindi talaga siya ma-open. Dadaan talaga siya sa camera. Ito ginawa ni Photoshop, Adobe Camera.
When editing, do you use Lightroom first or Photoshop?
Good question. So, Lightroom, Photoshop, ang katapat ni Lightroom is si Capture One. Ang sito mga competitor niya. Capture One, Lightroom. Yun lang ang popular ng mga Capture One or Lightroom. So, sagutin. Let me get the question first. Wala. Ang Adobe Camera raw. Pero once you bring it to Photoshop, divide it. So, si Lightroom kasi, di ba before, sabi ko nga si Photoshop, di nakaka-open ng raw file. And a lot of professional photographers wanted to work with raw files because it's a better file, complete, and everything. So, na-realize ni Adobe na why not make a separate application. Since everything is done digitally na, hindi na yung mga film at negative positives. Since wala na tayo dun sa ERN, everything is done digitally. Sabi ni Photoshop, let's make an application that can open a raw file. Okay? And can organize and manage your digital file. So Lightroom is an organizational application that allows you to group your photos and select which one you like, and then put them in another session or make another catalog. So naging dual na siya function. Organization and management plus editing of images. Pero what Lightroom can do is when it comes to retouching, medyo na siya, mas malalim na siya na level of editing. Hindi kaya na. So, ang nangyayari, from Lightroom, after you downloaded all your photos, that's where you select your photos, hinanap yung mga photos mo doon. Pag nakita mo na yung photos mo doon na gusto mo i-edit, then you do some minor adjustments doon kay Lightroom. And then when it comes to heavy stuff na editing, you bring it to Photoshop. So Lightroom can exist and can be skipped if you want. Kung gusto mo ikaw mag-select mo para sa Finder or kung nasa Windows ka Explorer, you can actually select your photos there. Just exactly the same. That's what you can do with Lightroom. The Lightroom lang, mas efficient. Kasi, ang gagawin niyo sa mga raw file mo, gagawa siya ng thumbnail na JPEG na maliit. So when you're viewing it, it's faster to view. Ang problema with Windows Explorer at Finder and Mac, pag mag-open siya ng raw file, ang tagal niya ma-open. So, mag-next ka, ang tagal mo ma-next kasi mabagal, di naman siya gumawa ng thumbnail na version. So, kung pipiliin ka, of course, it's best to use Lightroom if you want to manage and organize your files. So Lightroom, which will be discussed sa another session na to, which is called digital something. About explaining to you about 16-bit, 8-bit, and how you manage your files. So ito, strictly retouching, hindi na naman na. So, may question ba before I continue? Balik lang ako sa kodi ko. So, objective. So, alam natin na no-open to siya using Photoshop. Alam natin no-open to siya using. So, I'm gonna go with open with using Photoshop. So, papasok siya sa develop module or sa Adobe Camera module. So, one thing you want to do with your image first when you're editing is to decide. So I don't want to go too much on the camera on the side. I wanna focus on the retouching side. So If I may have something to edit dito sa image na to, pwede ako mag-umpisa dito on Adobe Camera Raw. There's a lot of options here. There's exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows, which I will explain here. Okay, so right now, I just want to make sure na pag dadalhin ko siya kay Photoshop, tama yung setting ko kung dadalhin ko siya kay Photoshop. Sabi niya dito, you'll bring this to Photoshop using Adobe RGB, which I will not discuss a lot. Later ko na i-discuss dun sa another session natin, different topic. And then, sabi niya din, ang depth daw is 8-bit per channel. Kasi option tayo, meron itong 16-bit. So, I don't want to use 16-bit right now. Kasi mabigat siya pag yung computer ko. But for professional retouching, naka 16-bit. Which I'll be explaining sa other natin class. Kasi 28-bit sa 16-bit lang. Okay, pag in-okay ko to, means to say, yun yung magiging setting when I go open. Diyan sa baba, i-open ko na siya sa Photoshop. So, pag in-open ko ito, Photoshop na to ngayon. So, this is now Photoshop. It says RGB/8-bit. So, RGB ang format niya, as 8-bit siya. Now, ang sinabi ko dun kanina sa audio ko, objective. Ano ba ang objective ko sa image na to? No? Marami akong titignan dyan. Ano yung mga gusto kong mangyari, yung mga ayaw mangyari. I don't just jump into the image and decide. I just decide along the way. Marami akong mga titignan. Minsan, nagno-notes pa nga ako yan. Kunwari, I'm gonna make another. Hindi ko ito ginagawa lagi, but minsan pag marami talaga akong gagawin. So minsan pag marami talaga akong gagawin, gumagawa ako ng mga remark na layer. Tapos, magsusulat na ako dyan. Kunwari, I'm just gonna use my brush. Kulayan ko lang siya na probably yellow. So, maglalagay ako ng mga remarks yan. Like, do I like this? Kung dito sa may bandang sa may next side niya, yan. Gusto ko ba yan? So, in my case, parang ayaw ko siya. So, in-circle lang siya. So, that's something na gusto ko tignan. Tapos, do I remove this doon sa may ears banda? So, lalagyan ko din yan siya na para lang later, ma-reminded ako sa mga dapat kong gawin. So, ito din dito ng part at ano din. And probably itong mga extra na hair, that part, at ano ba din. And then, what else? I want to make sure na itong yung dito na part yung darken. Tawag din round dark circles. Dark circles yan, di ba? Sino ba naka-makeup class dito? Dark circles, makeup class. Sino pa makeup class? Oh, dami pa naka-makeup class. Dark circle yan, di ba? Tapos, what else? Siguro, I'll arrange ang eyebrow. Dadanan ko naman talaga yun mamaya. Tapos, ano pa bang gusto kong tignan? I find it also na parang yung dark na mga colors dito sa ano niya, sa may chest niya banda. Diyan banda. So, I also want to look at that. Hindi nakita yung guide ko. So, gusto ko rin ito tignan dito banda sa may... Hindi, sinano yung brush ko. Hindi makita yan. Dito din, gusto ko rin tignan yung dyan banda na side. And probably this area as well. So, gumagawa ako ng mga guide ko na ganyan. Para lang, kasi sometimes when you're working with an image, makakalimutan mo na yung mga nakita mo kanina. Okay? So, yan yung mga objective ko. Gusto ko ma-adjust yan. And of course, gusto ko yung skin collator. Come in. Tsaka gusto ko rin yung mga skin collator. Gumanda din yung skin. Like, ano bang skin pinag-uusapan natin? Eh, ano, may mga ano tayo dito.
crease. Tapos itong texture ng skin. How much do I want to keep? And then wrinkles. Alam ko tatanggalin ko yan. Tapos dito sa kapila din. Tapos what else? Siguro, if this is a commercial work, tatanggalin ko to. Pero if this is a portrait work, ikikip ko kasi hindi naman siya magmumukhang siya na kung nawala yun. Eh, diba? But commercial work, it doesn't matter. Tatanggalin talaga yan. Unless kung si ano ka. Sino ba yung model si 1980s model si yung mga late? Cindy Crawford. Unless si Cindy Crawford ka, hindi mo pwede tanggalin yun. So, I start with that, an objective. And I also want to warn you that when you zoom in, you can see it here, 66.6%. If you go in up to around 400%, this is going to be a lot of work. Kasi whatever you see there at 400% is details that you cannot see at 200%. So, question, you also have to decide on that. Ano ba ang decision mo dyan? Am I gonna keep on zooming in up to 400? Anything that I see at 400, i-edit ko ba? Or do I limit myself up to 200 lang? Which is about that. Anything I see at 200, i-edit ko. And then I'm not gonna allow myself to zoom in up to 400. Kasi 400% is a lot of work. Ano bang objective nito? Social media ba to? Facebook, Instagram, or what? So this needs to be decided. Kasi kung para billboard to, tas malaki-laki nito doon, sabi mo sa client mo, kasi I do professional retouching before. Sabi ko sa client ko na, ano ba, gusto mo ba at 400% akong gagawa? Yan. Kasi I charge double. So whatever I charge sa 200, ito-double ko yun pag sasabihin niya sa akin up to 400. Tapos, para pag sinabit ko sa kanya, sabihin niya, I can still see a lot of flaws dun sa image. Sasabihin ko sa kanya, are you viewing at 200 or 400? Kasi kung 400, mas marami siya makikitang mali compared dun sa 200. So, you have to decide first, up to what percent. If this is gonna be, alam niyo sa mga airport na ang lalaki ng image na backlighted, yun, 400 talaga automatic yun. Kasi, ang lapit ng interaction ng tao dun sa image. So, kitang-kita lahat ng detalye dun. Tapos, exploded pa yun, laki pa nun. So, you have to decide what's your objective. Is this gonna be for social media? In fact, kung for social media nga, only that anything you can see at 100, yun ang i-edit mo. Diba? So, know what's your objective. Are you going to be edit at 100? Okay. 200 ba? Or 400 ba? Okay? In this case, I'm going to be editing up to 200. Median lang tayo. Okay? So, ano bang mga ibang gagawin ko pa ba? Look at the eyes. Siguro tatanggalin ko yung dito na part. Yung mga ugat-ugat dyan sa mata niya. No? Tatanggalin ko yan. No? Tapos, what else is needed? Itong mga pimples niya dyan. Some blemishes as well. Tapos, ano pa ba mga gusto? Ito, tatanggalin ko to. Itong mga crease lines. May buhok na pumasok, tatanggalin ko din yan. Ito, tatanggalin ko naman siguro din to. So, I have to decide which ang mga tatanggalin ko ba to or hindi. Like I've said, sinagot ko na to, di ba? Kung portrait, keep it. Kasi identifier yung mark yan eh. Kung commercial, you can remove it. Depende sa client kung gusto niya i-keep or hindi. So, after naka-decide na ako kung ano mga gagawin ko sa image, ang next ko na ngayon yan is understanding kung ano yung gusto ko sa kulay. But before I jump to color, I want to discuss tonal zone. Ano ba yung mga tonal zone? Kasi, pag mag-i-edit tayo ng image, i-adjust natin yung tones niya. Kailangan maintindihan natin kung ano yung mga adjustments like, if I'm gonna go here and go to camera raw filter, andito yung mga ano eh. Mali pala. Ang layer na to. Filter, and then I'm gonna go to camera raw file. Andito yung mga adjustments niyan eh. May exposure, may contrast, may highlights, shadow, whites, and black. So, ano ba na-apektuhan ni exposure? Ano bang na-apektuhan ni contrast? No? Ano bang mga na-apektuhan ng mga slider na to? Kasi before you work on the color, you wanna check, are you in the right exposure? Underexposed ka ba? Overexposed ka ba? Which among these sliders ang gagalawin mo to achieve what you want? So, you have to understand that an image comes in different tones, no? It comes in different tones ang image. Kung titig mo, let's zoom in some more. Dito na part light na part, and then dito na part dark. Di ba? Tapos, may mas darker pa na part. Di ba? So, they comes in different tones. Ito, ano siya, somewhere not too bright, but just before the highlight. Ito, mid-tone. Probably, itong dito na part, itong dark na color na yan, dyan sa gilid ng nose, that falls under the shadows. And then, kung titignan ko dito, itong mga mapuputi na part na ano na to, I would call that highlights. No? So, kung sasampulan natin, I'm gonna cancel this. And I'm gonna go back and open a different file. Itong gradient na to. So, i-open ko siya using Photoshop. So, meron tayong tinatawag na blacks, shadows, midtone. And all of these different na mga zones, white, highlights, midtone, shadows, blacks, ito sila lahat is present dun sa image mo. Iba-iba lang, may mata na part, so may ilalim ng mata, or sa gilid. So, nakakalat na just sporadically dun sa face, based on the facial structure. I'm gonna go to raw filter here. And then i-adjust ko sa exposure, anong effect. No? Sino sa different na mga tonal na mga zones ang ma-affected if I adjust the exposure. So, if I do this, lahat galing dun sa whites, highlights, midtones, and shadows gumagalaw. Pero pinaka-last si blacks na gumagalaw sa exposure. Ayun o. Oh, di ba? So meaning, si exposure, pag i-adjust mo siya, lahat ng tonal zones affected. Okay. So next, contrast naman. Ano yung ma-affected ni contrast? Sa gitna, you see that? Sa midtone? Nandito yung gumagalaw. Diyan na part. So, mid-tones ang naka-adjust ni contrast. Hindi niya masyado na-adjust si whites, but si highlights na-adjust niya, at saka si shadows na-adjust niya. Okay, let me try that again. Ayan. So, ang affected is these three. Shadows, mid-tones, and highlights. If you put more contrast, what's happening is that etong shadows na malapit sa mid-tone, si highlights na malapit sa mid-tone if you adjust the contrast. Okay, next. Si highlights naman. Naturally, si highlights, yan nagagalaw dyan na part. See that? It's moving. See that? So meaning, yung tonal values ni highlights, nandyan banda just before the brightest part of the image. So you look at the brightest part of the image, kung hindi siya ganun ka-bright, it's falling under highlights. Okay? Now, shadows naman. Ito yon na part. Ayan o, gumagalaw si shadows. Oh. And so as si whites, yung pinaka-brightest part ng image, siya ang gumagalaw dyan. Yan o, it's moving. From whites, tumatakbo siya papuntang highlights. So, now, paano mo siya hahanapin? Ito yung si blocks. Pagbalik ka rin mo naman si blocks, atras, tapos cover niya mas maraming area. So, kung titignan mo yung image natin, if I'm gonna go... Wait, yan doon. Control changes. So, kung titignan mo yung image natin, ito yung image natin kanina. Tago ko lang yung mga yan. Then I go to my camera raw filter. So, ito pa rin to, di ba? So, i-adjust ko si exposure. Ayan. So, lahat ng different zones affected. If I'm gonna adjust the shadows, ito sa shadows, so you would see the intention and the purpose of the shadows is to actually create the shape of the face. Kaya sa makeup, ang tawag niyang contouring, di ba? Yung contouring that falls under shadows. So because of that contour, it creates the three-dimensionality of the image. So if you lessen the shadow, it would create a more flat image. And if you increase the shadow, it gives you a more contrasty, more structured 3D dimensional image. So if I'm gonna slide the shadows to the right, I'm gonna create, or rather, I'm gonna remove a lot of shadows. Okay? So tanggalin natin yung shadows. So yan yung image natin. Meron ba akong before and after the photo? So, ito yung, ang shadows is okay pa, hindi natin na-adjust. Tapos ito yung na-adjust natin. So if you notice, nung inakit ng shadows, nangyayari sa image, mas flat, tapos light, kulang siya ng bigat, parang masyado siya manipis tignan. No? So, that's the effect of shadows. Yan o. So, nawala yung bigat doon sa eyeliner niya, yung sa mga jawline niya, nawala. No? So, that's the work of shadows. And of course, because we're shooting at studio, di ba yung mga shadows, kinontrol na natin yan while shooting. Kinontrol natin doon sa ilaw sa ilalim. Kasi doon nag-dis. Kaya, hindi tayo masyado nagkakaproblema sa shadows. Kasi, kinontrol na natin ito during the shoot eh. Pero if you're shooting outdoors and working with natural lights, I tell you, the shadow is gonna be your best friend, yung shadows sliders na yan. Kasi wala kang ng ilaw doon na nilalagay mo sa ilalim, mag-shoot ka sa outdoor eh. Diba? So, you are under the elements of natural na light. So, magagamit mo talaga ito masyado sa shadows. But up to you how much you want to use it. So, if you want to go with whites, this is where we're gonna get. Diba? Parang binublow out na natin yung mga whites na part. And ipupunta tayo dun sa highlights. Ayan o. So, para lang siya, pag in-increase mo yung highlights, kung nasa makeup ka, parang kung nag-increase lang yung nose line, tapos yung dito, tapos dito sa may forehead, chin, in-increase mo lang yung highlights na in-apply mo dun sa makeup. So, sa makeup, ang tawag yan, highlights pa din, di ba? So, kaya nag-work together yung makeup at saka editing. Kasi you know which part you wanna adjust. So dyan si highlights. And then si blacks would make everything, yung mga dark na areas na yan, ipapadarker pa niya yan. Ayan o, see that? Yung hair, wala nang detalye kasi parang pinabigat mo lahat ng mga dark na areas. But that really depends on what's your objective. Okay? So when you're working with zone areas, yes. When you're working with zone areas, that's where you wanna adjust dun sa develop setting mo. So, saan ba yan? Dito sa Photoshop. Kay Photoshop, andito yan siya under sa adjustment layers. Andito yan siya sa brightness contrast. Ayan o, brightness. Okay. Tapos, andito din yan siya under sa curves. To the right is the highlights. To the left is the blacks. So it means to say, ang gitna, mid-tone. Mid-tone. Tapos pwede natin yung highlights lang i-adjust natin. And shadows lang i-adjust natin. So andito lang yun siya. Pero divided into different zones. Doon sa mas madali. Kasi sliders siya na nakaiwalay ng different zones, di ba? So ito medyo complicated to si curves. So close ko muna yan. Ando ko muna ito para hindi tayo malito dun sa mga yan kasi i-explain ko pa siya. So, my next discussion is color temperature. Color temperature, na-discuss ko na yan dun sa camera nyo under sa white balance. Diba sa white balance, meron dong yellow, blue, tapos meron din dong magenta at saka green. No? Kung dito ka pupunta kay Photoshop, tapos hahanapin mo dito nasa yung color temperature, hindi mo mahanap dyan si color temperature. So, pwede mo sabihin photo filter or pwede ka punta ang color balance. But, to explain ano yung color temperature, babalik naman ulit ako dun sa babalik naman ulit ako doon sa camera raw filter. So, andito din yan siya. Under sa color. Temperature. Di ba, sa camera natin meron to. Kung gusto natin magmukhang warmer yung image, kung gusto natin magmukhang colder yung image, color temperature sa camera yan, di ba? So, if naka-raw file ka, and you decided later after the shoot na, ay, dapat pala ganitong gawin ko. No? I wanna make it warmer. If naka-raw file ka, you can still adjust that. Although, pwede mo naman gawin yan siya sa JPEG. Pero like I've said, ang JPEG, kulang na sa information. No? So, if you want it warmer, just bring it to the right. If you want it colder, then bring it to the left. Okay? And if you want it more pinkish or magenta-ish, you drag it to the right. Ang tawag naman ito tint, nasa camera nyo pa rin to. And if you wanna make it a little bit more greenish, you bring it to the left. Okay? Yeah.
Pag mag-shoot po kami, ano po yung white balance? Naka-auto po ba dapat?
Dapat hindi. Kung nasa studio pinag-usapan natin, hindi ka dapat naka-auto doon. Normally, yung mga studio lights, may mga temperature yan siya. Based on my experience, halos lahat ng strobe lights nasa somewhere around 4,800 Kelvin degrees to around 5,000. Between that, 4,800 to 5,000. But again, ang ending niyan, preference. Ano yung preference mo? Ano gusto mong warmer? If you want to make it a little bit warmer, then i-increase it to around 5,200. Yun, pwede yun, warmer yun. So, depende sa preference mo pa rin yun. Pero, best para sa akin, kasi kung naka-raw ka, walang problema. Kung nagkamali ka man sa shoot mo, you can always do it in the post. You can still change your mind. Yeah.
So, pag nag-shoot po gamit yung camera, paano po malalaman kung ay raw na po ba agad yung format nyo?
Ako nung umpisa ako, dahil takot ako gumamit ng RAW lang. Nag-shoot ako ng RAW tsaka JPEG both. So that, if I like the JPEG file, then I edit it in the JPEG. But if there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm gonna be doing, I do it sa RAW. Kasi sa RAW, mas marami akong pwede magawa doon. So, best if you shoot JPEG and RAW. Pero, pag you've been shooting a lot already and very comfortable ka na with RAW, don't shoot JPEG anymore. Kasi it's gonna eat up a lot of your memory dun sa card. Plus too many files to manage. Kasi dalawa yun eh. JPEG tsaka RAW yun eh. Diba? So, did I answer your question? My question yun.
So, ano pong recommended na?
Both JPEG and
Sa
RAW.
white balance.
White balance para saan if you're shooting inside the studio using strobes, not yung mga continuous light between 4,800 to 5,000. recommendation ko lang yun. Pero, sabi ko nga, hindi ako naniniwala sa LCD ng mga camera. Kasi sinungaling lahat yan. Lahat ng pinakamahal at pinakamura na camera, lahat yan hindi nagsasabi ng totoo. So, kaya naka-tether ako lagi. Yeah.
Tapos follow-up question po. Napansin ko po kasi pag ina-adjust mo yung temperature,
Mm.
ina-apply kasi sa background.
Oh, lahat. Apply to all. Mamaya sa Photoshop, we can decide only the image, only the background. Kaya ganun kagaling si Photoshop. Kaya yung ituturo ko sa inyo kay Photoshop ngayon, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what Photoshop can do for you. No? So, but, itong tip of the iceberg na ituturo ko sa inyo sa Photoshop, napakaliit lang niya compared sa lahat ng pwede mo malaman kay Photoshop. But, itong part na ituturo ko naman, in terms of photography na side, hindi ito siya tip of the iceberg. This is one half that you should know when dealing with images in Photoshop. Portrait images. Iba kasi yung landscape eh. Iba pa yung editing sa landscape. So, may question pa ba dyan? Like I've said, when I do a lecture, merong tanong, huwag niyo itago sa sarili niyo dahil kayo mismo makakalimutan niya, hindi niyo na may tatanong. Go ahead and ask me immediately and I decide whether I answer that now or not. So, in this case, balik ako sa dati ha. Ito yung original. No? Siguro, my preference, I'm gonna adjust a little of the tint. Dito ko lang ilalagay sa left para mas neutral konti kasi I find it a little bit pinkish yung result. Maraming reason ba't naging pinkish yung shot na yon. Baka may problema na yung ilaw ko, medyo moving towards a bit to the right, to the pinkish na side. At saka baka nung time na to si Mark III na Canon 5D Mark III, yung timpla niya a little bit pinkish. Kasi very natural kay Canon na pinkish siya. Natural din kay Nikon na warm siya. So lahat ng mga camera may kanya-kanyang inkling yan sa color. So I'm just gonna adjust it a little, but for me, siguro that's too much. I'm just gonna put it somewhere -10 and okay na sa akin. Masaya na ako dyan. Then I'm gonna press OK. So that's color temperature. So that's the first thing I do. After ko na shoot, I look at the image, I think about my objective, I think about mga decision na kailangan kong gawin sa image. After I do that, I immediately work on the color temperature. Question, do we have to do that as how I look at it? I start with objective? No. You can start from the bottom of what I'm going to discuss now, going up, or from the middle, up, down, wala yun siyang ano. Kasi ako din mismo, even if may list ako na gagawin, minsan excited na akong ayusin yung skin bago ko i-adjust yung color temperature. Minsan gusto ko na trabahin yung mata bago ko gawin yung... So, depende lang talaga. You don't have to follow a certain step-by-step approach. It's important to understand what you're doing so that you can decide which one you want to do first. So, after ko na naset yan, I'm gonna start working on... Ba nilagay ko dito? Curves. Okay. Ano naman yung curves na yun? Like I said, you can step by step. So you can do this after cleaning the skin, or you can do this before cleaning the skin. Ano pa ba ang mga pinag-uusapan? Let's talk about colors muna. Para maintindihan nyo yung i-discuss ko na curves, let's talk about colors muna. So I'm going to go here sa curves. So ito si curves, meron to siyang red, green, and blue. Okay? Hindi ko na kailangan i-discuss sa inyo itong nasa baba na to. Kasi naiintindihan nyo na yan eh. Yan yung blacks, shadows, midtones, highlights, and whites. Highlights and whites. So yun yung diniscuss ko na kanina yan, di ba? So hindi ko na kailangan i-explain to. Ang kailangan ko i-explain sa curves is may tatlong channel. Red channel, tapos green channel, and blue channel. Okay? So very simple lang to siya. Red channel. Sa red channel, if I bring itong diagonal line ko and lift the midtone up, what do I expect to get? If I'm gonna click here in the mid-tone side, and then I'm going to lift it up. What should I expect? Under the red channel.
Red scale.
Overall to, ha?
Yung highlights.
Hindi lang to yung katulad niya, background, ito lahat to. Mamaya, di-discuss ko yung isolation, yung image lang, background kasama. So, I'm gonna lift this up. I should be expecting an influence of red all over the entire image. So, here, there. So, from the mid-tone, portion of the highlights and portion of the shadows are all lifted and added red na tint to it. Okay? So, I'm gonna undo that. And then this time, under sa red channel, pag inangat ko, magiging more red. Pag hihilahin ko naman pababa, of course, less red. Pero, hindi yan siya less red. If you are going to remove the red, another color is gonna emerge. Kasi tinanggal mo si red eh. Ano bang nasa ilalim ni red? Ano ba yung opposite ni red? Okay? Ang opposite ni red is cyan. Ang cyan is para rin siyang sky blue na, you know, cyan. You are all under sofa, so I'm sure at some point sa mga other class nyo, you talk about colors. So, cyan will be introduced. So, if you remove reds, then cyan will be introduced. Okay? Of course, we don't apply that much when you are editing. You probably be, sasabihin ko, oh, I find it a little bit reddish. Just a pinch of cyan and reduction of channel na red. And that would be good for me. So, kung titignan mo yan, ito yung before, ito yung after. Diba? Again, based on preference. When you're talking about editing faces and models. But, again, kung mag-edit ka, kailangan, hindi naman kasi ikaw ang nasusunod eh. Si art director ang nasusunod eh. Kung ano bang hinahabol ng product, ng skin, ano ba dapat lalabas. So, kaya si art director nandiyan siya dapat nagsasabi, I want a more paler na skin, may pagka-pale, and a little bit pinkish para they say mas healthier daw ang skin na pinkish and a little bit warm. So, ganun, magsasabi sila kung anong gusto nila. So, let's go back. I'm gonna reset this. Okay, so balik na mo siya from the center. I'm gonna go to green. So, if we lift the line going up, we're gonna introduce more green. Correct. If we're gonna pull it down, what do we introduce? Andun sa color temperature to kanina.
Red.
Pink. Or magenta. Okay. So, pull it down. You're gonna get more magenta colors. Okay? Like I said, hindi ito malalaki ang ina-adjust mo. Pinch lang talaga ito. Hinahanap mo lang yung timpla na gusto mo. And of course, the last one is blue. Lift it up. You're gonna introduce more blue. And you pull it down. You're gonna introduce more yellow. Okay? So, etong tatlong to, RGB and CMY, is the integral na adjustment tools. No? The reason why you want to calibrate, kasi kinalibrate ko to eh. Kinalibrate ko ito. The reason I'm calibrating my monitors is that, di ba nag-a-adjust tayo ng konting touch nung cyan, konting touch nung magenta, tapos you're so happy about the output, not knowing that your monitor is not calibrated and displaying a different image. So yung maliliit mo na adjustments, gaano ka nakakasigurado na i-display ng monitor mo tama? Di ba? Hindi ka nakakasigurado. Kasi every monitor, mga Macintosh pa na MacBook Pro yan, this needs to be calibrated since I'm very particular about my color. this needs to be calibrated 3 times every year. Pero pag marami akong ginagawa, every month ko ito dapat i-calibrate. Kasi gumagalaw ito eh. So, Asus na 80,000 na monitor. Hindi mo kailangan calibrate. Why? May sarili siyang lumalabas na hardware doon, i-calibrate yung sarili niya. Every month, depende sa gusto mo. May hardware doon na bababa dito sa taas. Bababa siya dyan para mabasa niya yung output ng screen. Kasi, ang output ng screen, i-analyze niya kung tama ba yung na-output. Tapos babalik ulit yun siya dyan sa likod. So ito, wala naman tayong hardware na gano'n. Meron akong hardware na pang-calibrate. So ipalabas nga yung... Pero ito kasi, hindi lang to for monitor, for printer din kasi ito eh.
Sir, bakit kung mid-tones na yung ina-adjust? Bakit hindi kasama yun?
Sumasama sila actually. Tignan mo. Adjust ko So pag in-adjust ko yan, andito, tumasama dito na part tsaka dito na part. Tapos kung gusto ko talaga na ma-affected pa rin, dito na side, iangat ko to siya. So meaning, yung baseline na numbers, in-adjust mo, hindi na siya 0. So para lang smooth yung adjustment, you don't want to touch this both ends. You just want to touch this para mas smooth yung